touchdown. Did he sell popcorn, drive the bus down there too?
Well, Gary, we knew going into this thing he's one of the top players in the state of Kentucky, and really felt like we have a Mr. Kentucky football candidate.
Yeah.
But Brody knows this is all about our team first.
Yep.
But to have 3 rushing touchdowns.
Yep.
A couple of passing touchdowns.
Yeah.
Catch a touchdown.
Yeah.
I think you kind of put yourself on the map.
Yeah.
As one of the premier players.
No doubt.
Out here. But once again, it was a great team win.
It was.
Our guys knew coming in here. Obviously, they knew I'd been here for 15 years,
Yep.
so they know that they were built to have a lot of character and play hard and win and
Yep.
expect to win. And I hope to think I've learned a lot since those 15 years, and I like to think we're building them even better.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Coach, I tell you, it was just we were just in awe of your offensive line, the way they were blowing things open there for Benke
really,
and Geisler.
Gary, I'm so glad to hear you say that, because once again, past is a past, but I know where the program was 2.5 years ago, and they are built for this kind of game now.
Yeah.
And that team never is going to quit, and that quarterback is a phenomenal competitor.
Yeah,
he is. A really, really good player.
Got his bell rung, came back in the game.
He reminded me a lot of playing against Taylor Heineke down when he was at Collins Hill, when I was at North Gwinnett. That kid the play was never over, and the kid would never quit. And and that's who Jackson reminded me of tonight.
We were tied at 13-all. We were tied at 20-all. You pulled away to 34-20. They scored minute 18. They scored a touchdown late there, 34. Then they tried the onside kick. That tells you how close it is. They came 1 yard away from it.
Well, when we talked earlier in the week, I told you it was probably going to come down to one play. And
you
essentially
did. Yeah.
It came down to the onside kick.
Yeah.
And, 2 things happened there. They blocked before the ball went 10 yards. That should have been a penalty. But that's really hard to, you're begging to get that, but it should be. But thank God they saw that it didn't go 10 yards.
Right.
Yeah.
Coach?
Well, it went 9.5 yards is what it did. But, again, they did block before the thing. But, that's a really hard one for officials to call, because they're really looking for that other stuff in there.
And, Mike, you haven't been a head coach. They don't want to insert themselves in the game if they don't have to.
No.
But we've taught our guy put his heel right there on the 50, put his toes right there on the 50 yard on the 50 yard line, and so because the ball has to go 10 yards, and so we're counting on them and forcing that, Mike.
Well, I also think that the other Spire on the sideline did a pretty good job.
Yeah, he did.
I mentioned him a few times.
Yeah. Hayden is really wise beyond his years, but he played in this system. He played big school football in Georgia, took us to the state championship game, playing against great competition. There's nobody I could have brought here that has any concept of how I want the offense run more than he would have.
Well,
and so my roots originally as a coach were defense. I was coached the inside linebackers of Western Kentucky, was a defensive coordinator in high school before I was ever an offensive coordinator and a head coach. So this is, hopefully ball, you can coach ball. And so that's kind of how it's gone. But this guy makes it a little bit easier as a defensive coordinator against a team like that, because they had a hard time getting us off the field.
Right. And he is our star of the game tonight, so we'll get him, Brody Benke. And Brody, let's talk about your game. You ran the ball for touchdowns. You caught the ball. You threw the ball. And like Coach said, you put yourself on the map, didn't you, as far as Mr. Football?
Try to get that microphone up there. Yank it around.
Is that good?
Just speak up.
Yeah,
I got you. It's been used one too many times. There you go.
Yeah. Just talk about your game, overall, and how you felt that your ball club responded when Catholic made their little run.
Well, we came in. We just had a solid game plan to attack the weak side of the field, and it worked out perfect in the first drive. We scored a touchdown. And then we just really relied on our run game, and our line did a phenomenal job of blocking tonight. And the pass protection when we passed the ball was phenomenal as well.
It was so much fun to watch. I like to watch offensive line, and that your guards, and one of them split out, a little Henri split there, and then I know we've seen that before, haven't we? And then the guard would pull, and he would either block the edge player or stalemate the edge player. And you did a great job of reading that. And that's something a quarterback doesn't get used to doing. So I'm really impressed with that. You had some good coaching there, just to read that block on that trap, really, and get up in there. And then the rest of your linemen, honestly, what he said, you got to be really proud of them.
Yeah, it's awesome having a great line that you really don't have to worry about getting quarterback hits or really getting hit. You get tonight. I would imagine we averaged 5 yards every run,
Yeah.
at least.
At least.
You don't worry about getting hit when you're 6'4", 240, do you?
Yeah.
I mean, you're a good sized young man, and Wasik, I think, is 5'10", 5'11", but
Yeah.
this guy really dominated, didn't he, Coach?
He
Yeah.
trimmed himself down. So
Yeah.
He got a little more
You
foot
have
speed
you
right
have
now,
two,
too.
Coach. You trimmed down too.
Yeah, thank you, Gary.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about becoming a receiver for that play. That had to be put a big grin on your parents' face, right?
Yeah, it was fun. It was just playing every position, then catching a touchdown.
What was that pass? What was it exactly?
A hitch and go was the
Yeah.
route.
Yeah. You did a nice job on that, too. So we were really
Gary,
impressed.
we try to take a young man like this because more than likely, just like C.J. Uzomah, who had in Georgia, he's probably going to play receiver, tight end, H-back kind of thing. That's most of the college recruiters that are coming in. That's what they really see him as. So, we want to get him opportunities from that. We always want a team comes first, as you well know. But when we get opportunities for a young man like that, he can go out there and help the football team in that way, and it's going to help him get the exposure. It just enhances everything for everybody.
And Coach, like you and I were talking about, a game like this with Lexington Catholic to open up the season is going to help your ball club because Catholic's got one of the best passing attacks really in the state.
That's a playoff game.
But yeah, and Kreitzer is one heck of a receiver, number 11, and they don't even have one of the fastest guys in there. Nelson are waiting on him. He'll probably play next week. I tell you what, when they get them on both ends, they're going to be a really fast offensive team, and you beating them, that's going to help you down the road.
Well, the biggest thing we try to preach to our guys is the quarterback keeps everything alive. The receivers are the receivers. I feel great about our coverage guys. I thought they played well tonight, but when he was able to keep things alive, it's just, that's too much.
Well, I know a little bit about quarterbacks.
He does. He had a great one as a son.
And your feet are great. And the first thing I zero in on the feet of the quarterback. And then your deception, where you can fake the ball, running the ball. Yeah, you're a big, strong guy. You got skills. You got a good offensive line, but you've got your feet set in the right way. You're stepping really well when you throw the football. You had some good coaching back in your background, probably even before you played high school football. You can see that. Very impressed with you. And the big thing, and Coach, you can comment on this, and then let him kind of expound on it. Leadership. How important is that?
Brody didn't start out last year as our quarterback, though we knew what he could do at quarterback. We had another kid in the same class that had all the intangibles, and for whatever reason, it just never came to fruition. So we go in that opening game, and it was a debacle against South Warren. I mean, an absolute debacle. They curb stomped us. And so we put Brody in late, and we knew, and immediately it was a calming effect.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Brody, more than anything, he's a 3-sport star there, and that takes a lot of confidence, as we well know, to feel like you can play all 3 sports and navigate one. And he just brings a real calming effect to the team, and the kids just, they just fall right in line with his mentality.
Yeah, I can see that. How do you feel about that? How do you accept the leadership role?
I just take it and run with it. I love being one of the top guys.
There's
now.
your touchdown catch right there. As Benke hauls that in, runs over a defender, a touchdown on that pass from Littmer.
Yeah, we have this
highlight
And,
package.
he and Rio have really worked great together. Rio's going to be an unbelievable, fabulous quarterback. And there's going to be a lot of times this year where he's going to come in, give us momentum, change it. We're always one injury away, as you well know, knock on wood. But they have worked so well together in supporting each other and helping each other get better. And that's just a beautiful thing when you have.
Well, Coach Spire, it's always good to see you. Great to see you.
Thank you, guys.
Big
Thank
win.
y'all for covering this.
And I want to tell you that the DeVries are watching down in Brandenburg, and they want to say hey to you. Jim and Kitty and Bridget are down there.
What unbelievable folks. And they were so pivotal. Jim DeVries and John Proctor, those guys were so pivotal in my life.
Well, good luck to you guys the rest of the season. We'll be watching your scores from afar. We'll get a picture here of you guys. And the victory, 34-27, a good ball game, wasn't it?
It was a good ball game. It was a fun ball game and a clean ball game too.
It really was.
There wasn't very many. Usually in the first game, there's a lot of jumping off sides, this and that. It was pretty good,
Very
pretty well
played.
done.
And both teams, when they needed to make a play, seemed to make a play, and nobody was going to let it get away. And it just really had all those intangibles.
good ball game that Highlands wins 34-27. That does it for us. Coach will wrap it up with Bob Spire and Brody Benke, the star of the game, 34-27. And thanks. Join us next week on Prep Spin for the game of the week. And for Mike Meehan and with the King of Stream, William Warfield. So long from Lexington Catholic High School.